Like, are you going to hood clubs? Like, are you going to the trap house? Like, where are you going? Because that defines a type of person that you're gonna meet. All right, hello again, welcome to my channel. Dial into your V. We're gonna do a get ready with me, but this is the get ready with me for the birthday dinner that I'm heading to. So I'll be mostly looking down. If I'm looking down, that's because I'm looking at my mirror trying to apply my makeup on at the same time. So let's get it and let's go. All right. So I had asked somebody on Instagram what's a topic that I should talk about, and the person was stating how to get a guy that has, I guess, money, or who's not cheap, or who's not, you know, hard for you to get him to spend some money on you. I'm gonna start off with my eyebrows. For me, I feel like you have to somehow, some way have a little something of your own too. Like, I'm not disregarding guys that actually will, you know, get you and be willing to spend on you. I'm not talking about those, because nowadays a lot of these guys, they really they be nitpicking sometimes. They feel like, you know, if you didn't have it before, why are you wanting it now? Or if you couldn't do it for yourself, why do you want me to do it for you, basically? So, and that's saying, I'm just gonna put my mirror up a little bit. In my opinion, I feel like the best thing to do is to try to get something that costs a little bit of money. By something, I mean like a pair of Louis Vuittons, like a cream color or a black color. Don't ever do outrageous colors. Do the colors that will go with every and anything. So for us females, I feel like we're easier to fake it. Fake that we really, you know, have a certain something in our closet than the guys can. By me saying that, I mean, you know, we could go on Fashion Nova and buy an outfit for 30 bucks and we could make it look like it's $100, or we could make it look like it's $300 by simply accessorizing it or just bringing it out a little bit with a pair of pumps. And by the pair of pumps, i.e. the Louis Vuittons that I told you to get. So I know a lot of people can't afford $800, $900 shoes, but I feel like if you're willing to save some money and you're willing to go ahead and put that in your closet, that shoe, in my opinion, is always a go-to shoes. You cannot go wrong with a nude pair of Louis Vuittons. You just can't. Or a black pair of Louis Vuittons, because at the end of the day, you could wear a simple, cute white t-shirt with some jeans with that cream colored or that black colored Louis Vuitton, a nice lip, your hair is done, bingo, got you. Easy. So when you do go on the first date and you meet this special person that's willing to spend some money on you, you could bring them out and they won't have nothing to say, oh, you never had it. Because in the long run, he's gonna be like, oh, okay, she already knows certain things, she's up on game, so I can't come half-ass and feel like if she asks me something, or if I feel like I want to gift her something, I could go out and beyond to gift her something that's a little bit more pricey and nice. So that right there is my fake it to make it rule number one of trying to you know, get someone that can actually like spend a little bit on you, I guess. So rule number 2 now is your appearance. Like, do you get your hair done? And I'm not talking about like getting your hair done like wearing weave. There's some guys out here who actually like a girl with just natural hair. Like, how you present yourself for who you are. Don't go on IG and see these girls who are done up with all this makeup and all this stuff and think that that's what a guy would like. Some guys, they actually prefer a girl who don't even have all that makeup on. I know for me, for instance, a lot of people, people that I've dated back in the day, they were like, I like you better off with no makeup. That's just the person preference. So you don't have to look like a video vixen to get these guys. I know it feels like these video vixens out here are what they're looking for. In actuality, they're really not, because it's the girls with the less followers that they actually like, because they feel like not everybody is in your DM, not everybody's like trying to come for you type situation. And then on top of that, you're not on every scene. Because one thing about a particular guy, they don't like the shoo going out girl, like the girl who's always on every scene. Like, they walking in the club and people just know them by their first name. Nah, they're not. So don't think that you have to be out and about all the time every day. But if that's what you like, that's your preference. But I'm just telling people who feels like they have to do the most to grab certain people's attention, when you don't have to do the most to grab people's attention. Sometimes the way you carry yourself will attract somebody more than you trying to blend in what you think is the norm, and it's not. So that part is number 2 of not really trying to fit in the norm. Just be you. Be you is more attractive than being such and such with 500,000 followers. Just be you. And then my rule number 3 would be where you're going. Like, where are you going? Like, are you going to hood clubs? Like, are you going to the trap house? Like, where are you going? Because that defines a type of person that you're gonna meet too. Like, don't sit here and you meet somebody in the strip club and then the next day he's like, do you want to go out? And you're like, yeah, and he takes you to the strip club. Because 9 out of 10, they just like hanging at the strip club. Usually people who have a certain type of money, they're not out in the clubs. They don't go clubbing like that. They're not out and they're mostly at these little chill spots. A lot of them, yeah, casinos, cigar bars, low-key places that not a lot of people are going to be there, but there's people that's there. It's a lot of, they want to have drinks at the bar. They want to just basically socialize. So what you do, because I know Yelp will help with that too, or Google. You can Google Yelp, because I remember in my 20s, honey, me and my friends, that's what we did the most. We Googled spots that we never been to, and we would just go there just to see how it is. And sometimes you bump into somebody that you would have never thought that you would bump into, compared to going to the trap house or going to the clubs or going to the strip club. Like, you'll meet some elite people that you would 9 out of 10 probably think that you wouldn't meet. Because I remember my financial advisor at the time, well, she still is my financial advisor. I am trying to find this foundation, and for the life of me, I can't find it. Oh, it's right here. My Giorgio Armani. She would have these little wine dining at these nice restaurants, but she was having it for her customers, who it was just like a token of appreciation for allowing for you allowing her to advise you financially. And I remember I used to always like disregard it. I'd be like, I don't have time for this. Like, I don't need to go there. Like, what's the point of going there? There's nothing there for me. Like, they're just gonna keep talking about money and all of this other stuff, and I just don't want to do it. I'm good. I'm straight. I'm not gonna go. Well, one day me and my best friend, she was like, oh, is there anything to do? Like, do you want to go for drinks? She was always the go-to drink person. Like, if she's off from work, we're gonna go for drinks and chit chat and eat a little something and just talk about how your day is, basically, type situation. So I end up telling her, oh my gosh, actually my financial advisor lady, she always invited me to like these appreciation wine dinner things, but I never go. She's like, girl, are you dumb? And I'm like, am I dumb? No. Like, why? What happened? She's like, girl, those are where you meet the creme de la creme people, and that's where you meet people who actually are about their business and about their business, not meaning like business like LLC type business, but a lot of them did have LLCs. A lot of them had degrees. But she was like, that's where you meet a lot of your people who actually are about something in life. And I'm like, I never even thought that that would be somewhere that you could potentially meet somebody who's single. And I'd be damned if when we went, they didn't have a whole bunch of people who were like, oh yeah, I'm in a Fortune 500 club, I'm in this, I work for this company, or I'm just launching a company. And I'm like, what in the world? All this time, if my son is 8, I've been with this girl for probably 6 years, and I've been to only a handful of her stuff, which I'm like, when I went, I was like, what was I thinking and doing? Absolutely nothing. So that's what I'm trying to tell you, like, where you're going and where you're going to go to, like, when you're going out, it can make and break you. And a lot of people don't realize that it can make and break you. Even simply just saying, hey, let's go on vacation. You'll be shocked and surprised who you'll meet on vacation, because 9 out of 10, if you're going on vacation and you meet somebody, y'all have the same like interests. Y'all like to hop on planes and venture out and see different places, do different things. They're on a whole nother level. I'm not saying like going out and having fun is it's lame or it's not going to take you anywhere in life. You can have fun. I'm not saying that. You go out and club, but 9 out of 10, if you're trying to meet somebody who really is about something, 9 out of 10, the club is not where you're going to meet them. I'm sorry to tell you. It's just not gonna happen. And if it does happen, it's like a rare, but not that rare, but you're going to have an issue with the person, because you're going to realize that person likes to just go out, just clubbing. And for me, I put clubbing like this. Like, we went clubbing for my boyfriend's birthday. Spent all this money on bottles, on 12 bottles. Spent all this money on bottles. And all they did was drink it. When you could get that same amount of money and go on vacation and meet a different culture, eat different food, do adventures. It's like practically the same amount. We only did it because that's what he wanted to do. I told him let's go to Colorado, but he's not a winter person. That's neither here nor there. But anywho, like I'm trying to say, a lot of places that you go can determine how you'll meet certain people. I know people like to online date. I've never done online dating. I don't like it. I think I did Plenty of Fish one time and I got duped so bad on Plenty of Fish. Like, the guy, I think he told me he was like 5'8", 5'9". And when I met him at the restaurant and he was approaching me, the height started shrinking down. And when he finally got to me, he shrunk down to 5'5", and I know that because I'm 5'5" and I had heels on. And he was like right here to me, and I'm like, what was your height you told me that you were? He was like, yeah, I'm 5'8", 5'9". I'm like, you can't be, sir. That was the end of that. After that, I was like, I'm good on Plenty of Fish. Plenty of Fish is a plenty of lies, honey, because what they supposedly say, who they are and what they do, no. And if you do meet them online, 9 out of 10, you're going to have a little bit of inconvenience, because some guys treat it as how many females I could talk to in a short period of time. So yeah, he's taking you out for Monday night, probably for dinner, because who knows who he took out for lunch or for breakfast. So then now you met this guy online and you're over the hill moons about him, like, oh my gosh, he's telling me all the right things and he's saying this and he's saying that, and then he goes ghost on you. He doesn't go ghost on you because he doesn't like you. He goes ghost on you because his whole entire agenda was to meet different people. So he feels like, okay, I already took her out. Let me go ahead and try to meet somebody else that I could take out. So back to what I was saying. Where you're going at night or in the daytime. Because a lot of people who have a certain type of money, they go out for happy hour. Because that's where a lot of their business meetings are. That's where a lot of, oh, thank you for signing on to my company. Let's go for drinks. Let's go celebrate. Let's do this, let's do that. By the time it's nighttime, they're already in the bed at 7:38 because they know that they have to get up extra early, A, to look at the stock market, and B, to head back to work or to make sure that their company is running the way that it should run. You see? You see how like certain things that we just don't think of might hinder something, and we're here like, well, I'm going out every night. I'm making sure that I look good, and I still have not met that person who I feel like meets my caliber that I want to talk to. So that was that for that one. That's my little opinion. You know, I ain't telling y'all to take my advice. I'm just telling y'all how I think about certain situations and how I see things unfold when I was in my 20s and learning certain things about certain atmosphere that I was interacting with. Because in my 20s, honey, I was clubbing, but I was mostly on somebody plane going somewhere. And I think I just had that habit from my mom always taking me on vacation. So I just got used to always going somewhere, seeing something, doing something that wasn't in my town. So that's how I ended up traveling more so in my 20s. Like, I know a lot of girls, I'm from Palm Beach, so I know a lot of girls, they go crazy for Memorial Weekend. They want to come to Miami for Memorial Weekend. For me, Memorial Weekend, I'm going somewhere else. I'm doing something else, because I know that those people who are down there in Miami, 9 out of 10, they were saving all their little coins just to go down there with a group of friends that they don't really even travel with, but because they want to go down to Miami so bad, they're willing to split the hotel fee with somebody that they probably never really hung out with like that. And then 9 out of 10, by the end of the trip, they're already not friends because somebody came on the trip broke, a whole bunch of other things. They thought that they could swindle some guys into getting them into the clubs, because one thing about Miami, the price go up with certain holidays. So if they feel like, oh, I know a whole group of people coming down, that $200 bottle becomes $500 bottles. That $500 bottle become a band. Like, you can't even get into Club Live. You can't even get into these so-called strip clubs that these so-called ballers are in, but they have rented exotic cars and they making it seem like that's their car. So that's what I mean by a lot of people are faking it to make it. And it's up to you if you wanna fake it to make it until you make it. And I would say that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. It is what it is, because no matter what, you looking at people on IG, you looking at people doing all of these things, you don't know what these people are doing. I know for me, I clock in, honey. I clock in every day. I have a little bit of investments here and there, but I had to get it out the mud too. But I always rewarded myself for certain things that I accomplished, or certain things that I feel like, you know what, I need to treat myself. Because at a point in time, when I lived in my house, I literally was chopping a tree down for $750. Like, I could have bought me a pair of Dior slides. But in my mind, I'm like, responsibility outweighs everything. So that's why I came into the mind frame of, okay, I really want these particular shoes, and I know I have responsibilities, but I know me saving $100 out of my check is not going to hinder my whole life. So that's what I did. I just saved my little $100 until it came to the amount that I could afford the shoes, and I bought the shoes. So then when I would go out and look a certain way and a guy approaches me, he knows, like, okay, let me not half step on this girl. Like, she knows a little something about a little something something. I'm not here to switch her from Fashion Nova to Gucci or Fashion Nova to Louis. Like, she knows it. I see her wearing it type situation. So I hope that answered her question on how to get a particular guy. But for me, I feel like they're all the same. They're all a whole bunch of headaches. And it depends on if they have commas in their account or not, because at the end of the day, their mind frame is the same. Like, that's just my opinion. That's for another topic and story. And then my next question that I had was, think it was how I was able to purchase a house at a young age. That came about, that came about because my mom, she's a single parent. So that came about with my experience. I'm just grabbing my lashes. With my experience with my mother, being raised by a single mother, the moment the rent went up, we had to move type situation. So I did not want that to occur with my youngest son. At the time, I had him when I was 19. And I had him at 19. I was going to school. I was attending FAMU at the time. And I had to drop out of school because i.e. I was pregnant, couldn't work, and I had decided to leave the father of my child at the time and went back home to Palm Beach, Florida. So in the midst of going home, I had to change my entire major, i.e. I wanted to be a lawyer at first, and then I realized like the amount of years that it would take for me to be a lawyer, it surpassed my goals of being a mother. So I just took on the next best thing, which was a registered nurse, because I already had all of the accreditations and prereqs accomplished already at FAM. So when I transferred, thank God, God was on my side, because when I transferred to Palm Beach State College at the time, it was PBCC. No, what was it? I don't remember. It was some kind of community college name. I forgot. I think it was, I don't remember what their name was. But anyway, by the time I transferred to them, my credits surpassed what the school actually required. So I was able to, I think I just lacked statistics because I took trigonometry at FAM. So they're like, oh, I think I needed anatomy, anatomy and physiology 2. I needed anatomy and physiology 2. I needed microbiology, because I took organic chemistry at FAM. Microbiology, statistics, and political science. Those were the 4 that I needed to register for the RN program. And I had my son November 29th. By January 4th, honey, I was back in school, baby. Swollen face and all. Back in school with my micros in my hair. And I was getting it. Because at that time, they had a program, which I think they still have the program. It's called Head Start. So I used it to my advantage. I used Head Start to my advantage. I literally dropped my son off. I made sure that my classes were the same time as my baby's daycare, which was from 8 to 5. So I took early morning classes, and then on the weekends, because my mom was like basically tired of taking care of me, so she was like, you need to go find a job. So I found a little retail job. It was only paying me like $7.75 at the time. I think I need to advance this one a little bit more closer to the edge. Nah, I think I'll just leave it like this. But you see how it's making that little flingy look up top? Let me just take it off and I'll reapply. So, where was I? Yeah. So I got a little retail job. I worked there Friday, Saturday, Sundays, because I went to classes Monday through Thursday, and I got accepted into the RN program, attended the RN program, and then my clinicals, thank God, was in the daytime, because it's either you could pick day shift or night shift. I picked day shift. So, and God was really on my side because all of my clinicals was literally right around the corner from where I lived at. So I was forever grateful for that too. Yeah. That's much better. So I was forever grateful for that too, that my clinicals were right by my house. I went to Bethesda. Did I go to JFK? Yes, I went to JFK and they were remodeling JFK at the time. That was like 2008, if I'm not mistaken. I went, and I went to Delray Medical Hospital. I did a rotation there too. And then for my precepting, I was lucky. When I tell you, like, sometimes God will favor you if God sees that you're trying to make a way for yourself. Like, I know a lot of people be like, but I prayed so hard and this is not happening. But the thing with praying and getting help from God is you have to try the journey yourself a little bit too. Once you try the journey yourself and God sees, okay, she's putting a footstep forward, so let me go ahead and guide her in that footstep forward. It'll work out. So I did peds at St. Mary's, and my peds nurse that I was shadowing, she was so sweet, so kind to me. I just couldn't believe it. So that was that. Let me see what kind of, I think I'm gonna do a red lip with this, but I love my makeup. I know sometimes, I don't know if, oh yeah, so I ended up being with her for my precepting, and the moment I graduated, I know a lot of people was taking their money that they were getting for financial aid, like the extra money. I was getting my money and I was actually saving my money for a down payment on my house. So I know people were shopping, people were buying dogs, people was doing all of this other stuff with their money, and me and myself, I was like, I did my research on first time home buying, and I was like, you only need 3% down on the house? Okay. And when I purchased my house, I didn't even need to put 3% down. I actually put $5,000 in escrow just to make sure that you have money there. And then I think I only gave $1,100, and that was to a lawyer because my house was a, what they called a flipped house. So a company bought it, they tore down the inside, they remodeled it, and they put it back on the market. So I ended up buying my 3-bedroom, 2-bath for $135,000, and I only put $1,100 down. Actuality is $6,500 because, well, no, it was $6,100 because I only gave the lawyer $1,100 just to make sure that my house didn't have a lien on it, and that was it. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and apply my lip, get dressed, and I'll get back to y'all to show you that final look of how I look. So thank you for tuning in. And I love this, man, I love this, man, I love this.
It's 2 o'clock and I'm faded. This kush feeling amazing. Got a voicemail on my phone from a little breezy feeling X-rated. She told a nigga she hurting. I'm in the car and I'm swerving. I walked into her bedroom and I put it down, that's certain. Man, I stay on that Serra. Man, I stay taking shots. Man, your girl be on my job. Maybe cause I'm everything now. See, I ain't no bitch nigga, no rich nigga, no snitch nigga.